Hello and a
Hello
very good
and a very
evening
good evening
and everyone
and everyone
here.
here.
Hello.
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 I welcome you
I
all
welcome
at
you all
the
at
Parent to
the
Parent
parent
group.
to parent group.
Just a small thing. Is
Just a
my
small thing. Is my
voice equal?
voice equal?
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
echoing. So
it's
if
echoing. So
rest of the
if
people who
rest
are
of the
not
people
speaking
who are
can
not
go on
speaking
mic,
can go on mic,
mute.
mute.
Okay.
Okay. So I think it's better now. Yes, I got a message also, Jyoti, you are echoing. So immediately we corrected this thing. So there are so many technical glitches what we are facing today. So our apologies for beginning a little late, and a big thank you to all of you for waiting for us. Today's panel discussion on, first of all, I would like to welcome each and everyone on the Parent to Parent group, which is all about parenting. We cover each and everything which comes under the umbrella of parenting. Everything is available here for the parents and for the kids of all age groups. And here I welcome the panelists. Today's discussion, the topic of discussion is, do men need empowerment? Sounds interesting? Yes, it is. And we have
And
lovely panelists here. First of all, I would like to talk a little bit about the person who initiated this topic and whose idea it is all about. Dr. Priya Parekh. She's a founder of Me Too We Vision 2034, and this is the mission for her to make men more empowered. And she is the owner of brand Beauty Aesthetics. It's a skin and hair clinic, and they have a core team of 8 members and 25 ambassadors for Me Too We Vision 2034. And now I would like to introduce our panelist to you here is Mr. Bhavesh Utmani. He's a computer science graduate designated as Assistant Vice President with leading IT company. Also a home chef, food enthusiast, loves cooking for family and friends. Welcome, Bhavesh. Next we have
next we
Priya
have
Thank you.
Priya Sitharaman, founder of Inside Your Mind, psychologist, counselor, psychotherapist, speaker, and spiritual energy healer. She has worked as juvenile justice counselor. She's also have a brief professional experience of 19 plus years with varied background and skills, and a founder of NGO and another social art venture. She's a mental health practitioner at various community groups to spread awareness about mental health. She conducts varied workshops and courses for all age groups on different mental health topics. And she also runs a podcast series in the name Relate, Reflect, Reorganize. We welcome you, Priya. And next we have Mr. Debashri Chakrabarti, a software architect by profession, working with Infosys Limited. Along with that, he loves working and fiddling with music and pen. He writes, be it be essays, poems, or stories. He has written many plays under the banner of Parichay Theatre and recently engaged in creating video stories and music videos published on YouTube channel of Parichay Theatre and Chakra Beats. Welcome Devashish. I welcome you all on today's panel
Thank you,
discussion
ma'am.
with the topic, do men need empowerment? So all in all, the entire topic sounds very interesting. Generally, we always hear about women empowerment, how to empower women, what all needs to be done. There are so many organizations which are working on women empowerment. So, my first question I will pose to all of you, and I would request we can start with Priya, then Bhavesh, and then Devashish ji. What is the need of men empowerment, and is it really necessary? Can we start with you, Priya ji?
Thank you so much, Jyoti ji. Thank you for this opportunity from Me Too We, representing Me Too We mission, and thank you, Parent to Parent group, for giving us this platform to express our views on men empowerment. We three of us are early ambassadors, a few of the ambassadors of this mission started by Dr. Priya Parekh. Okay, coming straight to the question, do we need men empowerment? That's the question. Over a period of time, it's been over many decades that we've been hearing about women empowerment. The reason being, because women has always been overpowered by men and overlooked at and started ruled over by men community. So it's always been on one side, it's always been that women have been looked down and not given equal opportunities. So that's when it all arose as to empower women from all walks of life and all angles. So having said this, on the other hand, men empowerment, why it is not being looked at all, or even if in these times, if we would discuss about this concept with anybody else. So, I mean, this is what even I've heard from few of my close friends as well. Why do they need? Why men need empowerment? Why at all it is necessary? It has been very beautifully forgotten here that they don't understand that for women to be empowered, there has to be a balance as to men has to be empowered. It has to go hand in hand. When we say it has to go hand in hand, we talk about gender equality. In order to have a balanced society, in order to have a equalized, when we look at the equalizing part of it, then we have to go hand in hand. We have to work together in association with, in order to be empowered together. So the way forward, it has to be men and women. So we cannot differentiate, because gender, different sex, both sex are integral part of the society. So I would like to just give it a shot here so that others can take up the opportunity to continue about what is it about. So this is where we come from. We have really felt the need that there are so many impact when men is not empowered. So we're going to talk in the due course of time after this question has been answered. So over to Bhavesh. So this is what I conclude here by saying, to have a balance, society, men, even if you're empowering women, if you are believing in women empowerment, it has to be including men. So we cannot leave one gender and work alone in the society. Over to Bhavesh.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Priya, for sharing your views on this. I would request Bhavesh now to continue with the question.
Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you, Parent to Parent Group, for inviting us as a part of core team. I mean, as a part of Me2We Mission 2003-4. I'm Bhavesh Utmani. I'm the core team member, one of the core team members of this wonderful group founded by Dr. Priya Parekh. As Priya rightfully said, I mean, we cannot leave one gender and empower the other one and go about it. So we have to go hand in hand. That's the one thing. And when this question arises that do men really need empowerment? So my question would be, why not? Yes, definitely. I mean, as women have their specific issues, men also have their own specific issues, which we need to talk about and which we need to address it openly, with our open minds. So to create a balanced society, definitely both the genders need to equally go hand in hand and move ahead to create a balance in the society. So that would be my opening topic. So that's about it. Let's move forward, and I'll allow Deba to speak to this question now. So thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Debashish ji.
Yeah, hi. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Jyoti ji, and thanks, Parents to Parents Group. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So just Priya ma'am and Bhavesh ji have already given the brief of our mission. So I won't repeat that. Basically, I'm the ambassador as well. So directly jumping to your need of the hour or need of the talk that we are having. So when we talk of empowerment, okay, we are normally talking of new avenues, awareness, associations, and acceptability in general. Now, be it be women empowerment or be it be men empowerment, both way it is applicable. But when we talk of men empowerment, specifically, we're not talking of providing them more teeth or to their sense of manhood or masculinity that is rendered by nature's way of algorithm. But what we are talking of is changing the way they are brought up, the values they are imbibed, and the relaxing the constraint that they face emotionally or otherwise. Okay, now you cannot change the mindset overnight. It's by imposing laws which inherently gets misused in the long run, but and impacts the social entropy altogether. But it's more of as I said, it's more of a mindset. And in we believe that in order to felicitate and facilitate women empowerment, this is about time that men empowerment should be the prologue of the journey. You should begin with men empowerment actually to help imbibe and implement women empowerment. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your views on the entire topic of do men need empowerment, because as per me also, it is very much required in the society in today's time about how to take the gender equality and how to work on that one, and how to raise your boy, your male child, and how to give him all the things what you're giving to your daughter, and you are just leaving your boy on one side or a male child on the other side, and just letting him be the superior class, that he understands everything, or he has to take care of the finances, and the other role will be taken care by the daughter or the females. So definitely these things should be addressed. So I will pose my second question to Bhavesh ji here is, how does it impact the society if empowering men is not considered? What will be the society at, in that ways, if we are not considering men empowerment, if we are not giving this entire segment or entire phrase the importance?
Yeah, sure, Jyotiji. So I mean, as we spoke about more in the first question, it's like I mean, if we do not empower man, we will be creating an imbalance in the society. So I mean, when we work in our mission, Me Too mission. So what we do, we consider women as already empowered, and now we are working with men empowerment to create a equilibrium in the society. So if I can give you an example, I'm a food enthusiast. I'm a foodie. So if I can give you an example of a specific thali, हम जो थाली खाते हैं normally. So when we enjoy more, it's like when we have our own balance in the set, right? We have your rice, dal, chapati, sweet, spicy, everything. जब हमारे पास सब कुछ होता है, तो ही मजा आता है, right? So that's what I mean. We have to create a good balance among the society and the gender, so that each gender, as I said in my first question also, each gender has their own specific issues. We need to address those issues. Give men the platform. Let them speak. I mean, if I can talk now, I mean, in this question is like, I mean, if we see the statistics, there are societal rates are more in men. So I mean, there's something serious about it. So why not we sit together, both the genders, and see to it and churn our thoughts. I mean, how we can allow men to speak up. Let them speak, give them a platform, and give them their due. I mean, what happens many times, we consider, हम लोग समझते हैं कि it's men's responsibility to go and earn, बाहर जाना है, कमाना है, आपकी responsibility है, आपको family handle करना चाहिए. So why only specific gender? I mean, I'm talking about the orthodox families where when this is expected, we expect एक specific gender से हम expect करते हैं कि नहीं, लड़कियों का काम होता है घर चलाना, लड़कों का काम होता है बाहर जाना, आप कमाओ, आप उस पर ध्यान दो, आप घर की चीजों में ध्यान मत दो. So are we not creating an imbalance? I mean, I've also seen in joint families where you know where we have a son and a daughter. So अगर we want to ask them to bring a glass of water, grandparents, आप लड़के को क्यों बोल रहे हो? Why you ask this girl child to go and get a glass of water? Why are we creating this imbalance? Let us be open. These are simple things. I mean, why we always have to be gender specific कि ये काम इसी का ही होता है? So let's keep an open mind. And also I would like to add कि I mean when we bring, I mean yours is a parent to parent group. When we talk about parenting, तो हम हमेशा बच्चों को स्पेसिफिक कलर्स में ही क्यों करते हैं कि ब्लू इज फॉर बॉयज, पिंक इज फॉर गर्ल्स? I mean, give them an open platform. Let them decide what is their favorite. Why only girls have to play with dolls and boys have to play with their you know, bikes and cars and all those things? Give them the platform. Let them decide. Give them an open this thing. It's their choice. Whatever they choose. So I mean, that's what coming back to the question is, if we do not work on this, we will definitely create an imbalance in the society.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your insights on this question. And 2-3 things very beautifully what you have put up is, you know, regarding considering the suicide rate, the percentage that men are, you know, the suicidal rate of men is more than, you know, what you know, ladies do, or, you know, women in comparison. And about the toys and the colors what you spoke about in the younger age of, you know, boyhood in their time. So you know, considering these 2 points, basically I would like to go to Priya ma'am here. Like, you know, being a mother, being a, you know, a mother of a, you know, boy, how do you think, or how much do you think it is important to inculcate, you know, emotional stability in a boy? Because, you know, we see that girls are quite, you know, they are very affectionate, they show their warmth, they show their love, and we pamper them. And when, you know, there is a boy and he comes and hugs mother or father, and everyone says, you know, like, mama's boy, लड़कियों की तरह क्यों रो रहा है, या लड़कियों की तरह, why are you behaving like a girl, you know, this is what girls do. So are we suppressing their emotions? What are the ways and means to address these emotions in boys, and how to make emotional quotient little better in men as well? Because what we have seen, emotional quotient of you know, women is more higher than men. So how to bring equal, you know, the balance in that area as well, and how to address these issues?
Thank you for this wonderful question, Jyoti ji. Yeah, I'm a mother of a teenage boy. So we, in our house, let me talk with some examples, if I may. Right from his early childhood, so we've always been concentrating on the life skills part of it, and as well the values, morals and values. Today he is a teenager. He's going to be 14 years, and if I tell him recently, I think very recently, he's in 9th grade. Recently, I had an opportunity. We are very open in our conversations in our house. I have only one child, so we talk everything. So just to give you an example, I thought I must quote here. So very recent conversation about menstruation, and how, because he is studying about all of these, and what girls go through, what are the pain that a girl or a woman go through. A boy should understand all these, becomes a part of their learning as well, and once they become an adult, how well they can, because this is also a part of empowerment. When we talk about it, is from social aspect, it is from psychological aspect, it is from emotional aspect. These three are very, very important when we talk about empowerment. So empowerment starts with your emotional awareness. So that's where the whole journey begins. Only then, if you're not self-aware, if you're not emotionally self-aware, then you're not able to understand others, and then not able to work together in a societal norm. So that's where emotional intelligence play a very important role. So when I posed this question about menstruation and talking about how well you have to, he immediately cut me down and he said, Mama, don't worry at all, because I know what you're thinking, and I'm not the kind of a boy who's going to be, shaming or defaming a girl. So I'm going to be very responsible. I think this is the kind of values that we are trying to imbibe on this particular generation, especially the youth and the boys growing up as they grow up after 10 years or so. So another point to discuss about emotional intelligence, because being a psychologist myself and also a spiritual healer, so I have always been insisting on this particular thing, that emotional intelligence. Even my counseling clients, so I do employ spiritual psychology. I'm a spiritual psychologist myself. So what I mostly focus on is the emotional awareness, emotional intelligence part of it. So when we talk to any parent, when we come to how to bring up a child, whether be it a boy or a girl. Why boys? Because the focus is on the boys today, because this is where, as we have already discussed about, you and Bhavesh has already spoken about, it has to start from the right age, early age. So when we say emotional intelligence is not there, because boys have been always, it's been deeply imprinted, it's been deeply uprooted in their minds, unconscious mind, that boys cannot cry and boys cannot express themselves. And that's the reason of, when we talk about suicidal rates, women are more prone to depression because of hormonal changes during their life cycle. But men are men's suicidal rates are more. Though being women
Right.
are, what we're trying to say here is the emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, or the emotional honesty. What is emotional honesty? Just being aware of your own emotions and trying to express. So we are here, we have the responsibility to teach a boy or a girl equally about their life skills, and more importantly about their emotional awareness. When we have to set an example by it's okay to be not okay. It is okay to cry, be it any gender. So even if papa is crying at home for any reason, we should encourage. It has to start from our own homes. Be it your spouse, be it being a wife. So if I don't support my husband's emotions, and then what is the child is going to learn? So when we say, so child learns from the society, learns from the environment, the home environment more. So it is okay to cry. So when any adult, any men at this age, if he cries or if he is not feeling good or expressing himself, then it's going to be not working out only by just talking about it. So we have all the responsibility to start from home, that talk to your partners, talk to your spouse, and talk to your boys or girls, even they are watching you. So it has to be deeply imbibed every day. It's an exercise for each of us to pay more attention on how well we are giving that way forward to express their emotions, because this is what is going to be very, very men they can cry. So there are comments coming up from Shweta ji. Yes. So even
Yeah.
as Balaji said, even the boys, we got to allow them to choose their activities. Like, for example, music or art. There are many successful artists, men artists. It's not that dance, art only very peculiar only to girls. So it cannot be that way. So it has to be, be it your color choice, be it your career choice. It's a human integral part of any human
Absolutely.
being. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Got your point absolutely here, where you are, trying to tell that, the entire choices should be, left on to the boys themselves, what they want to choose in their life and how they want to want to take it up, whether it's a career or whatever it is. So I think there is some signal problem with Debashish ji. Okay, he's here.
Okay.
So when you were talking about, this is how we should raise boys in our society, and continuing with the same question, I will pose this question to Mr. Debashish, sorry, I'm mispronouncing again.
You can call me
Debash.
Deva. You can call me Deva.
Yeah, Deva sounds much better, an easy and short one. So I would like to ask you, like Priya was just mentioning about how should we raise our boys in the society. Is our society really ready to raise boys like that when we are into so much of impact of Bollywood heroes and superhero figures like Spider-Man and all the big super human powers, and where in Bollywood or any, whether it's Hollywood or whatever, they have that super image of man, or that male person, that he can do anything, but he is not allowed to show his soft side, because people will not see him as a strong man again, and he will be looked down upon them. So what's your take on how are you facing, now that you all are the ambassadors of Me Too We Vision 2034, because you all, or rather we all, want to empower men as well? Is society ready for that? If not, what challenges are you facing, and how are you trying to overcome those challenges?
Thanks, Jyotiji, for that question. So, as I said in my opening talk, it's not an overnight change that we can bring in, okay? And neither law can help you, because bringing a law and imposing something over the time, people get used to, people understand the law and start misusing them. And this is more of a mindset change. When I say mindset, it's better to practice before you preach. I will give you an example which I think you briefly touched upon, and Priya also said about it, is something that I practice. Even I am a father of a 10-year-old boy, and we practice very minutely and mindfully this. We never say to him kya ladkiyon type rota hai. We have absolutely banned ourselves, me and my wife, and checked that we try to not say anything specific that gives him a feeling that a boy gender is some way different, or has certain privileges, or he's less responsible for certain things. So just another example I can give is we were not getting an opportunity due to his school days and busy schedule, but during the lockdown, his mother actually made it exercise daily to live, teach him the survival skills, the life skills that we normally say, "Yaar, ye ladkiyon ka kaam hai." Be it be dusting, be it be the basics of making your bed to take with. So this should not be looked upon as skills which are done by certain way, or even because this goes and imbibes in the long run when he gets married, and he expects this to be done by his spouse, the female spouse. Okay, that अरे ये तुमको घर चलाना है, या why we always say तुमको घर चलाना है, what does it mean? Am I less responsible? Should I just come from the office and throw up my things and think that somebody is there to pick? So this minor point, okay, practicing as a parent, as what we teach our sons. I'm talking of sons again. And by the way, I'm not sure if any of you know or aware of the third Wednesday of October is World Pronouns Day, which is where we celebrate, no binary gender, more on a gender equality, concept. So it's not just a boy or a girl, and Priya already touched this point. Gender equality is not binary any longer in the society. There are laws and practices being accepted, but this needs to be taught, this needs to be discussed, you cannot practice it, of course, unless you face it, but those kind of awareness and talk and practice are very much required at your home. And to answer your question lastly, whether the society is ready or not, I see people talking about it. That's a good start. But frankly speaking, I have my friends, I have my relatives. Uh, they are not mindful. Uh, okay, for they make casual comments still about the color concept that Priya said already, the mindsets. Then words like Joru ka Gulam, Mama's voice. All these are terminologies that aligns you and enforces you to a particular mindset or stereotyping, and that's where men are
Right.
very scared to express themselves. They will be either termed as feminist or whatever. They will be ridiculed basically. So that's I would like to think that we are a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because these are the stereotypes where men generally cage themselves into, and then they find it very difficult to break that cage and come out of it, because they are going too much into the judgments of what society is putting on them. That if they are listening to their wives, they are Joru ko Gulam. If they are listening to their mothers, they are mama's voice. So they are juggling between these kind of judgments, and they are losing
And
themselves.
you know what I feel is this comes because from the beginning, when the when the boy has been brought up, he has not been given this responsibility that he should have been given. And when he has grown up, he's still dependent on. Till now he was dependent on his mother. Now he has given being dependent on his wife. So either way he's dependent, and when you see somebody going out, away from you, being independent or being dependent on somebody else, comments like Joru ka Gulam or mama's
Yeah.
boy comes into play, and the husband doesn't actually have no idea how to fix it.
Right, right, absolutely right. I have my question for Bhavesh ji, but before that, I would like to go to Priya once again for a very quick and short answer, to be a very short and precise one. Like, you are a mother of a teenager boy, and you have your mindset where you believe in gender equality, and raising your boy in such a sense that he is he has full senses, and he values his emotions and expresses them, and he values the girl child or his female partners, friends, equally, right? So I'm sure you must have come across many mothers who still believe that a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl, right? They still have किसी के अगर किसी का लड़का होता है तो लड्डू बांटे जाते हैं, लड़की होती है तो काजू कतली बर्फी ये बांटी जाती है. Still that discrimination is there. So how do you feel? What do you think is the mindset of that mother, and why is it difficult for her to change? Because is she still living from the perception of her husband, her mother, her father? What is it that she is not willing to change? A very short one on this question.
Yeah, I got your question. So very quickly put it, what is the mindset here for her to change is basically what she has seen, she's been believing. What she's been perceiving, and she starts to believe. As we open this topic, it's like deep rooted in the system, societal norms, that grandfather, father, and even your brothers, where she comes from. So where she comes from is being deeply rooted unless you open up yourself and look for that change within you, and then you're not ready for that change. The same way you are passing on to your sons and your daughters or whatever. Agar किसी के घर पे even you have a boy and a girl, so there are a few responsibilities being distributed to a boy. Is okay, you have to do this, and kitchen ka kam, then girls has to do it. There are quite a few discrimination like this even in this present times. As they've also said, we have long way to go. It's not a magical thing to happen, because for us, we are 30-40 years, and it took a real long time even for us to change our mindset. So we've been coming from that background, like what we have seen, we've been believing. Unfortunately, I don't have any brothers, so but still we've been given all kind of privileges that a boy would get in a house. So we were fortunate enough to our parents that even as a girl, we've been brought up in the girl environment, but still, this is what is mindset change. It has to come from the self. Only then you can, I think that's what is.
So it's something which has to come from within, whether you are coming from a different mindset as well. If you want to bring the change, so it has to come from within yourself. So this is, I think, what you are, putting up here. So thank you so much for that, Priya. I'll pose my next question to Bhavesh ji. Like we all know that women empowerment is going everywhere. So women are so much empowered. Now it is difficult for men to handle empowered women. Right, so they are facing difficulties. There are lots of challenges what men are facing. So that's a different thing. My question here is, how can we empower women by empowering men? How can we empower women by?
Yeah, got it. So as I said in my earlier part as well, when we talk about Me2We mission, so our mission, what we consider women are already empowered. So when you say how can we empower women when we work on men empowerment as well, so I think that's what when we start talking about it, men empowerment. So that is how we'll go hand in hand. We have to equally talk about women empowerment as well as men empowerment. And working on one part, working on men empowerment or working on women empowerment, I think somewhere we need to go hand in hand, as Priya rightfully said in our earlier talk as well. So that will actually create a balance in the society. So when we talk about men empowerment, so that will resolve many issues which we are facing in the current scenarios. If we look around, the multiple rape cases and all those things which are going on, around the news and all those things. So we can actually create an environment when we create this awareness, when we resolve this men issues. Issues they have, when we allow them to speak, when we allow them to share their thoughts. We were taking an example of giving the toys to the boys. Why not give them dolls and let them know how these dolls are, how gentle you need to be with these dolls. So that is what the thought process will come, I think. So you also have to learn how you need to work with the other gender. You can't always be a macho thing, जैसे हम लड़कों के साथ रहते हैं यार ऐसे फटके लगाना and all that. We cannot be that way. We always have to be gentle with the other gender. So that's how I think when we work on this men empowerment, we will also work on women empowerment as well. Equally, we need to work about it, and we need to create a balance. That is how I think it will create a balance. So I hope I answered your question.
Definitely. That's very beautifully put. It's all about empowering men and women all together. It's not about just empowering women at one end and not doing anything about the other gender. Whether it's all about empowering men and women all together. It's gender equality what we are basically talking about here. Yes, Priya, you have something to add here, please.
Yeah, further to Bhavesh ji. So when we talk about, there was a campaign run by UN very recently that for men empowerment, it was he for she. So likewise, when we talk about men and women empowerment, it has to start from men empowerment. Like when we, for example, there are many NGOs and organizations working in the field of women empowerment. In that, when we talk about women empowerment, there are more women working towards, because that's what they feel. They feel connected to this particular cause, this particular gender. But when we talk about men empowerment, you have to include men in the conversation of women empowerment. So that's where you empowering men in order to understand women's issues. So like he has also mentioned, like when we talk about rape cases, when we talk about crime rate increase, because I've also worked as a juvenile justice counselor. So when I go and meet them, these boys, children, in the juvenile cell, whether they come from a very lower class, whether they come from the underprivileged, it doesn't matter. There are boys even coming from the middle class family as well. So what is lacking here for the crime rate to go down? We cannot keep talking about laws, aisa hona chahiye, waisa hona chahiye, change the government and changing the laws. It cannot happen. So I've also recently shared in my post that every daughter's responsibility is a responsibility of a boy's mother. So her safety is my responsibility. Being a mother of a boy, so every boy's mother has to pledge for the societal change that your daughter's safety is in my hand. So
That's very
when we lack imbibing these values, these morals to our boys, and then what do we expect? We cannot expect over a change or after he goes up to a adult that we cannot see that, okay, he's done such a crime, he's ending up in jail. So there's no point. So it has to start from the right age of imbibing the values, how a gender has to be. After all, she is a human. So yeah, over to Deepa. I will just cut it short here. So this is what my point is about imbibing deeply, imprint these values and morals. What we see here is lacking of morals and values, as simple as that. We no longer have to blame that rape isliye hua and blaming the women or blaming the girls for wearing such. So it's nothing to do with that. It's about teach your boy how to control, channelize your emotions. So that's where comes the topic of emotional intelligence. When we tell them how to channelize your frustration, after all, ending up in any kind of rape or any kind of, even take suicide for that. So we are talking about all of these. So absolutely the root cause is lack of emotional intelligence.
Yeah,
So that's what
very rightly, said, Priya. It's all about the, these heinous crimes, what's going on, like you mentioned about the rape and, the discussion about the mindset of a parent and how they are grooming a, boy child. So definitely, these can be definitely taken control of, and, a right direction can be given to a child. If the mother, if the connection, that relationship is having a deep bond within them, within themselves, the mother child relation. In fact, the parent and the boy child relation has to be strong enough so that you can imbibe those values into your son. So that's very beautifully put. Thank you so much, Priya, for that one. And definitely I believe that girls from the younger age itself are more empowered, because every mother, every father wants their girl child to be independent, to know each and everything which is around, because they have to go in someone else's house to be married. So they should be self-sufficient and independent. Vis-a-vis, in comparison to to the boy child, it's like you just concentrate on your career and your studies, everything rest will be taken care of. Once your girlfriend is here, or once your wife is here in your house, she will take care of the entire step. I think that mindset itself disempowers a boy. So because I think that's also one of the root causes where we are lacking that particular education into that mindset of a parent and into the mindset of a child as well. I would like to have a concluding remark on maybe this note from each one of you, so that we can end the session. And by the end of the session, if you can all let us know at Parent to Parent how to reach out to you if anyone from our group wants to join your Me to We Mission 2034 for empowering men. Over to you, Debaji.
Okay. Thank you, Jyoti ji. And yeah, so it's very easy. The same way as you join Parent to Parent. The similar way, we have also a group to begin with. We have a page as well. It goes by the name of Me to We Mission 2034. Okay, you can put those words on the Facebook search, and you will get all the link. and therefore and the journey begins from there. So it's very easy. um one I raised my hand earlier in while Priya was commenting, because I just wanted to add one point to Priya's point as well, and that would be my concluding statement as well, is that we have to even start putting things, or make men also enjoy similar privileges, and that women are imbibed to right now. I'll give you an example I'm talking of. Let's say talk of parenthood, when the mother gives birth to a baby, and she is given a maternity leave of 5 to 6 months, or even more. Normally 6 months it is throughout the country, and it's primarily basics of getting her back into health, looking after the newborn baby and things like that. Whereas the father is supposed to report back in 2 weeks, 15 days at max. Only
Right.
one or few companies have too many number of days. But how do you expect the men to gel with the child or be with the wife when she actually needs, when he is back to the work in within 15 days? You cannot assume, जो हमारे फैमिली में ट्रेडिशनली होता है कि अरे मम्मी को बुला लो, मदर इन लॉ को बुला लो, बाई रख लो.
Yes.
Why? Those kind of things, if those are the things, if you make the boy go away from those kind of responsibility, what do you expect him to do? What do you expect him to be feel about it? So we have actually created a short movie on that. That's already on our page, already on our Facebook group. Actually, those who join can see that. But that's where we should begin with. Think when you ask like how the society is, we should start looking at those pointers which are already existing. Okay, you cannot make a boy go away from responsibility and come back and say, oh, you are not sensitive, you don't feel about it, you are being harsh on your partners. Because I think many of you have already read that there is a famous stand-up comedian of India. I'm just quoting a part of it. He delivered one speech कि इंडिया में लड़के और लड़की का फर्क इसलिए होता है कि लड़कियों को हमेशा हर चीजें सिखाई जाती है. क्यों? क्योंकि हर माँ को यही लगता पता नहीं उसको कैसा लड़का मिले. तो शी नोज एवरी लाइफ स्किल, शी नोज ऑल टैलेंट्स दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू ग्रो इट. वेयरएज लड़के से एक ही एक्सपेक्टेशन होता है कि वो बड़ा हो जाए. Okay, so
Absolutely.
he doesn't know anything and everything is he dependent on. So time to change now, time to get men more into things that they need to do and see where the society goes. I conclude.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Deba. Over to you, Priya.
Hi. I forgot to mention here, Deba is our director of Me Too We Mission, and he's directed 2 short movies, and he's making all of us act. Our turn is yet to come. The concepts are very much in line with the You Must Watch. So that's a insightful thing for any newcomer. So see it out of the box.
Yeah,
It's out of the box.
Yeah, we have done that and shared on our parent-to-parent group as well, both the movies.
Oh wow!
Wonderfully,
Okay.
visualized, and the ideas
Yeah.
behind the movie they were really nice.
Yeah. So I think that was on a lighter note. So coming back to your concluding point here. So as I said, for women empowerment, empowering men, or even including them in the conversation to begin the journey of empowerment of both the genders. So that's when you understand each other's emotions. For example, we are working towards any particular cause, be it empowerment of humans. Let's call it as empowerment of humans. So every group, every NGO group, every mission has to have equal number of participants from both the genders. So that's where the way forward, if both can work together. We also have in our mission more men and women joining in. So I think we are equally, sharing all the responsibilities in our mission as an ambassador ourselves. And secondly, it's about emotional intelligence, as we've been stressing upon time to time. It's about human emotions. how well you can understand and then try to understand others. So that's where the social awareness, social interaction comes into play. So that's going to be the way forward. These are my two most important concluding points. As we've been working with even adults and children more often, be it workshops or even courses, what I see, I've been sharing my experience, what I've come across. So that's my concluding point.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Priya. I would like Bhavesh to, concluding remarks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. First of all, in this short span of time, we have really touched very, very good topics today, and it has been really wonderful talking to you on these such topics on the parent to parent group and as well as on the Me2We mission. So, going about the conclusion part, I would say, it's high time. Let's talk about men empowerment as well, equally as there are many groups which are already working on women empowerment. Coming back to the parent thing, I would encourage, all the parents, give them equal opportunities, be it father, be it mother. Allow fathers as well, to have their equal share in bringing up their child. Let them also participate in all the activities which mothers do. I mean, I do understand there's a difference what mothers do and what fathers do. Fathers definitely can't breastfeed, that's for sure. So there is a difference. We do understand that. And being a man, I would say every man has got a soft corner. Allow them to speak, understand them. Let's start, it's said charity begins at home. Let's get together at our own homes. Understand their thoughts. What do they think about? What do they think about men empowerment? Understand their thoughts, and let's work together on such great topics. And definitely there'll be one day. I mean, as I gave an example before about the thali, so there's a balance. We all know equilibrium hota hai, right? So उसमें अगर कुछ नहीं है तो it's already balanced. So अगर हम 100 ग्राम एक जगह पे डाल रहे हैं, that's women empowerment, and 99 grams हमने already डाला हुआ है, so that's 1 gram that's just missing. And yes, as Deva rightly said, there's a long way to go. We need to equally work on both the gender empowerments, and that's how I would like to conclude. And thank you for inviting us.
Wonderful. That was Bhavesh, giving your point towards the end of this entire discussion. Basically, it is more towards, making your boy child emotionally stable and independent as well, and giving him the choices of choosing his own emotions and expressing them the way he wants to, instead of suppressing her or maybe, channelizing. Thank you so much for addressing the topic, do men need empowerment? And I would request, each and everyone who's going to listen to this entire conversation, maybe now or maybe later, they can put in their questions or the challenges, whatever they are facing, so that all the three panelists can, address your questions, and you can reach out to them on Me2We Mission 2034. It's a page, it's a group. You can reach out to them on that page. I would request maybe anyone of you to mention that page name in the comment section down below, so that they can, get in touch with you easily. If you, for all the group members, if you have any suggestions, if you have any ideas, or if you have any problems or challenges what you are facing, that can also be addressed here by all the panelists. I would again like to thank all the panelists here for giving away their wisdom, their insights on this particular topic, and I thank all the members of Parent to Parent for giving away their time. And thank you, Priya. Thank you, Deva, and thank you, Bhavesh.
Thank you, Jyoti ji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.